here who's going to help me out. So just give me a few minutes. So Mohan Raja, you have like a few minutes before I may exit in and out. Is that okay with everyone? I'm sorry about the technical sound difficulties.
You want me to continue, Sonalji, or?
Yeah, in like 5 minutes. Just give me like we
Okay.
are literally taking a few minutes break because I just
Okay.
want to swap over the sound system to the original one, which was meant to work but didn't. So
Okay.
How can we get
thank you.
hold of our speaker again, the one that just spoke on Welsh?
Yes, you can feel free to speak to the person. Yes,
I'll
How,
put my
how can we
email
please
in the
help.
find them?
chat.
How can we get hold of them by email? Or
I'll put
I,
my
I
email
missed.
in the chat.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, welcome everyone for our second speaker of the day. Mohan Raja is part of our parampara, and so he would be dealing with Videsha Yoga, which is dealing with malefics or aspects of malefics, fourth from the Surya and 10th from Chandra. And of course, and what it results in and everything. So by the way, I'm sorry, it was a bit flustering initially because of the sound difficulties, and I didn't introduce Nathan properly. So Nathan and Mohan Raja are from the same Vedic tradition of Pandit Sanjay Rath's Sri Achyutananda Das's tradition. And we have also been sort of studying the mantra shastra and whole host of them, and especially Mohan Raja. I think he's the place where he's based is very much, he's got access to a lot of Tamil literature on Jyotish as well as Telugu literature. So I'm sure at some point he'll tell you more about it, but please give him a warm welcome. So over to you, Mohan Raja ji.
Thank you, Sonalji. Namaste to everyone. Is my screen slides visible?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So before starting, I would like to pray to Ganapati and to my gurus. Shuklam Baradaram Vishim Seshivaranam Chaturpacham Prasanna Jayayut Sarva Vikmyo Prashanta Akachanana Patmark Kachanana Hadnisha Anekatantam Bhaktanam Ekatantam Om Gurave Namaha. So everything I am going to share or talk about is completely inspired from the teachings of Pandit Sanjay Rath. And there were, I just formulated them in a specific order such that we can predict it in a right way. That is the whole idea. And at the end of this session, I'm sure you'll have a template in your hand to understand why we all are struggling in our homeland. If we are struggling, that should mean something to us. Is there a way out? So the entire concept of struggling in hometown or birth land and trying to pursue our life in Videsha is the whole concept I have built this template on. Before getting into the concept itself, I just want to introduce few concepts such that we have a strong foundation to proceed with the shlokas of Parashara. Okay. In the last session that I have done, that was part 1 of this series. You can listen through this lecture. Both are independent in nature. But in the last session, I have built a template based on drishtis. But while defining Videsha, I have shared some basic information of what Videsha is. So when we mean Videsha, okay, when we mean Videsha, so if we are interested to go to a country, a different country, the first challenge we face is of the language. So language, if we have to translate it to the grahas, so we have to translate it to the Mekri. So the basic challenge of communicating. Okay. Then the second challenge will be the food that we take, especially when you travel to a different country for establishing yourself, the recipes that the culture that has built on the food will be absolutely different because of the food that they grow. And the culture, art aspect of a country will be different too. And obviously the governing body of that place that issues passports, all those things, passports or getting inside the country's governing body, and it is denoted by sun. So if you see is there any other grahas that there is army and we don't have much to do with the army, and there is trade aspect that is also Mercury. To just get into the picture, to give you the broad picture, the 4 planets that I have got here are basically the karakas for the kendras. So if I have to put them in this chakra that I have in front of me, the Mercury is karaka for the 10th house, and Sun is karaka for the Lagna, Moon is karaka for the 4th house, Venus is karaka for the 7th house. So while trying to understand this aspect, we also have the concept of economy in place. That is Jupiter, if we translate it to Jyotish, that is to do with the trines. So whenever we try to understand or whenever we try to push ourselves to go to Videsha, all the natural benefits, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and the luminaries, Sun and Moon, are going through a change. That change may not be giving you the best every time. It may put us in a situation where we have to face a lot of difficulty. That is the whole template. So when we try to understand here, this kendras and konas are being disrupted. Okay, good. That part of it we understood. When if you can, so let's say you have left your birth country and you have moved on to a different country. The first challenge that you face there is you have to establish yourself from the scratch. You don't have anybody to support you there. There won't be any ancestors to support you, any brothers to support you, any friends to support you. So you may have to build your life from the very beginning. So that image of the change of image is particularly important. We all struggle in abroad or in our birthland because of the inability to establish our arudas. So if I have to tell you what this challenge looks like, we see the 5th house from Aruda Lagna to see what the challenges I am going to face in this particular Videsha. So this Aruda Lagna may not tell us where we are going, because now with the globalization, we can go anywhere literally. But the image change is the important criteria that we will be focusing on. Then we also focus on what to do to protect our image. So to reiterate what I am saying, we are going to focus on 5th house from Aruda Lagna and 9th house from Aruda Lagna. 5th house shows change, 9th house shows protection. Good. Okay, we all know that Karaka is the important facet that we have built Jyotish on. Karaka simply means, Kara means hands. Okay. when we try to say Karaka, we are trying to say the doer of the job. For example, I say, get these things done. Who is doing these things? So I'm asking somebody to do the job, right? That me asking somebody to do the job is Karaka. Okay, we are going to use the Karaka in the Jataka to understand what things will lead to that foreign travel. So Karaka is nothing but the doer, and we are going to use the doer energy to understand what changes in our life will push us to go to Videsha, such that we can understand what to do to go to Videsha, to prosper basically in the Videsha. Okay. Karaka is, I hope Karaka is understood. I see a message. Let me see. Okay. Okay. When we try to understand the concept of okay. Yeah. When we try to understand the concept of life in general, we have three things in general that we focus on. The first aspect is sun, the soul aspect, and the sun is the giver of everything for us. Sun is giver, and sun just doesn't give the objects. Sun will also give the material prosperity as well, and also the people. There is a saying that my Guruji very often says, Sarvatma Chadivakara. The every soul that you come across in your life has something to do with Surya. He is the one who is bringing people into your life. And moon shows quality of life. So if we say our quality of life basically based on how much wealth we possess, or the family where we are born into, the kula we belong to, and so on. So we know the astronomical phenomena that sun is just, moon is just reflecting the sun. So the quality of life basically depends on the sun. So when we try to understand the moon, we have to understand Dikpalas as well. Because with moon, we try to focus. With moon, we try to do the job. With moon, we try to build our life. With moon, we establish samandhas. When I said sun is the graha that brings people to us, it is our wish to interact or not. That wish to interact, that like to be with somebody, like to eat something, is moon. So in this presentation, though we have Dikpalas for eight directions, I'm going to only focus on Kubera aspect of it. To give you a small understanding of what Kubera is God. I can say demigod for money, prosperity, and wealth aspects. Okay. We are going to focus on a little bit of Kubera aspect. So I have covered, we are going to use Kendras, and we are going to use Arudas. We are going to use Karakasepet to understand what leads to the change. And we will be dwelling mostly on Surya, Chandra, and Lagna, because they are the core existence of our life. And we know that Dikpalas are mainly going to influence our moon. So our focus is on the Kubera today. Okay. Let me go to the sloka. Last time when I spoke about Videsha Yoga, I use the same sloka. But whenever we try to understand Parashara slokas, there are maybe 10, 12 different variations or being hidden inside the shloka. So we used one approach based on Saturn, Drishti, Saturn, Rahu, and Jupiter Drishti, taking one to abroad, and this influencing Varga Lagna takes one to abroad. This part was established last time. But now, if I literally translate this sloka for you, the sloka is like this. Chaturthe means fourth house. So fourth house. So this is Aries, So I go anti-zodiacal. This is 4th house. This is 7th house. This is 10th house. This is Lagna, first house. Okay. So Chaturte means 4th house. Dashame means 10th house. If I have a malefic in 10th house, 4th house, and also in 12th house, Dvadashecha Yadastita, 12th house as well. This combination literally destroys Pitaram, father, Mataram, mother, and because of lack of people who take care of you, you may have to put yourself in a different desha. So last time I have defined that deshantaram means it can be inside your country itself, or you can go outside of your country as well. That is the premise we have built last time. This is the literal translation. But let me show you what exactly Parashara wants us to understand. Okay. Okay. So Chaturte, 4th house. We have understood that part. Dashame means 10th house. Okay. Papa means malefic. Dvadashi means 12th house. So if I have malefics in 4th, 10th house, and 12th house, okay, good. But from where is the question that we have to actually understand. Okay. So Pitaram, so basically this chapter title itself is Pitruganda and Matruganda. So we already know that the shloka is telling us about dangers for parents. There is no point in telling that Pitaram, Mataram are going to be destroyed again, because we know that this shloka is part of Arista, Matru Arista and Pitru Arista. Okay, so Parashara is indirectly telling Pitaram translates to Surya, Mataram translates to moon. So he's actually telling us to use sun and 4th house from it, moon and 10th house from it, and Lagna and 12th house from it to understand whether one goes to abroad or not. To give a glimpse of how important this role is, whoever is into a little bit of traditional learning of Jyotish will understand. 4th house from sun, Surya is Kubera. 10th house from moon is Kubera. So the Kubera in your life is getting disturbed. So you are forced to pursue Videsha such that you can elevate your social standard and you can live peacefully. That is the whole premise that we are being put in. See, a newly born baby is not having proper nurturing. Okay, then he or she will be given away to somebody in earlier days, at least not now, or at least we have orphans now who are being taken care by the orphanages. Okay, so the dictum is very simple. We are going to use 4th house from Surya, 10th house from moon, and 12th house from Lagna. And if you have malefics in 4th house from Surya, 10th house from moon, 12th house from Lagna, we can be sure that you are not going to stay in your hometown. Period. This dictum will never fail. Okay. What if I'm not going away? It just means you may have to suffer in your birth country. Simple. We'll see examples of royals who were born into royal families, who left their royal family and wealth and pursued Videsha, pursued foreign lands. Such that if royals are being forced by this dictum, all ordinary people who we are being consulted, so they all are ordinary people. They are actually trying to figure out what to do in life to build their fortune or to actually have comfortable life. So this dictum will help you to actually guide people to put them in the right direction, basically, because we are using sun, soul, moon, mind, lagna, intelligence. That is how this template is built. So I have just reiterated the steps here. So the first step is 4th house from the sun. There should be a malefic, or there should be malefic influence. 10th house from the moon, there should be malefic or malefic influence. 12th house from Lagna, there should be malefic or malefic influence. the planet that you have got from step 1 and step 2, you'll see in the examples, that should be associated with fifth house from Lagna, such that they are taking up this image change in the foreign land and they are getting used to the image. Okay, that is important aspect that is not taught in the sloka. This is taught in the parampara. And Karaka, I already mentioned, he's a doer. So what is the event that triggered the foreign change? This helps us to predict the situation. If somebody comes to us and explains the situation, we can be sure that, oh, this situation is leading to this. That is the basic thing. So this Karaka is activating Surya, Chandra and Lagna simultaneously. And we'll also learn a little bit of Varga Visleshana, means analyzing Varga a bit. Because my focus was all about Vargas last time. I want to keep this time very, very simple. Okay. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm getting into examples. Okay, good. So the first example that I have for you is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was born in midnight in a Charasala, means jail, in a prison of Mathura, but in the clan of Yadavas. Why I'm focusing on clan, you'll understand in a moment. Sri Krishna was taken by his father to a nearby village called Gokul. So he stayed there for 1 to 3 years. Then from there, Gokulam to Vrindavan, he moved at the age of 6. Maybe third year he was moved to Vrindavan. 3 to 6 he stayed in Vrindavan. And from 6 to 10, he moved from Vrindavan to Mathura. This is lot of movement in the Desha itself for this person, for Sri Krishna. And then he then killed his uncle. And from 10 to 28, his education with Sandipani Muni, and the way he has constructed Dwaraka on the seashore, all those things tells us a story that Sri Krishna was wandering in the country itself. With that introduction, with that story, I want to tell you, I want to show you the chart. So this is the chart of Sri Krishna. So what is the first step? First step is to use Surya. So from Surya, fourth house has to be seen. So from Surya, fourth house has to be seen. We have Saturn here. Saturn is indeed malefic. Yeah, I am sure that it has a lot of Digbala and all. But this Parivartana is bad. How do we know that it is bad? So for Sri Krishna, Aruda Lagna is in Virgo. We call this as Gita Acharya Aruda because this Jupiter Mercury is Bhagavad Gita Yoga. He actually gave Upadesha of Gita to Arjuna. So how do we calculate Aruda? So this is Taurus. Taurus Lord is Venus. Venus is in third house from Lagna. So this is 1, 2, 3. Count 3 signs from Venus. So you will come to Virgo. So this is basics of Aruda, the simple, easy way to calculate Aruda. So we take the Lagna law, we count from Lagna to Lagna law, then we count the same number of signs from Lagna law to the number of signs. We come to the Aruda Lagna. So from Aruda Lagna, third house shows death. So this Saturn is actually inducing the death for Sri Krishna. And he died at the age of 120 plus years. That part we all know. But if you see, there is Parivartana. This Ketu is Karaka for Kula. Is this Parivartana good? If it is good, after his death, all his Kula was destroyed. Everybody actually died, literally. So what would have been the reason for that to happen? I don't want to get into the reason for now, but this Parivartana is very, very bad because of destruction of the Kula. Okay. I want to reiterate the importance of maleficence of Saturn. That's it. Let's see 10th from the moon. That is the second step. 10th from the moon is Aquarius. Saturn again. Saturn is the common graha we have got. And other lord is Rahu. Rahu is conjoined with Nicha Mars. So that is also maleficence of higher order. Now Lagna 12th lord, obviously it is in it is Aries, lord is in Nicha. So the three steps: Sun 4th house, Scorpio, Moon 10th house, Sat Aquarius, and Lagna 12th house. All these steps are very clear. Okay. And all the malefic afflictions are very clear. So the reason for Krishna to leave his birthplace exactly at the after his birth is because of the Saturn influence. How do we know that? We take birth from the 7th house. Saturn being in 7th house, the exact moment he has taken birth, the change is inevitable for him. Okay. Will he accept his Aruda? That is the question now. Will he accept the change? You know, that is very, very important to see. The Aruda Lagna is in Virgo. From Virgo, we have to see the 5th house. Let me clear this for you. Okay, this is the Aruda Lagna. I have mentioned it last time. So this is the 5th house from Aruda Lagna. The Lord Saturn, which is common graha from Surya 4th house and Moon 10th house, is associated with 5th house by lordship. And we know this Parivartana and Ketu is involved. And we know why he has changed from one place to another. It is because demons trying to kill Krishna, basically. That was the reason. Okay. He was able to accept the Aruda and the change. What led to the situation? That is the important aspect that we should be seeing. So Mercury is the Karaka for Kubera and also for the community that we live in, that we share life with in the society. And 6th house from it is Aquarius. So Lord is Saturn, Lord is Rahu. This Rahu and Mars combination being in 3rd house makes him a wrestler or fighter, basically, because this is Parakrama Bhava. Third house is Parakrama Bhava, and Krishna was fighter, wrestler, basically. And there were a lot of incidents in Krishna's life after his birth, that there were so many demons who tried to kill him. That is happening because of this, and this has led to the a change in his life. Okay, hope I am clear. Okay, good. This is the second chart for you, Duke of Windsor, and he is very popular king who abdicated the throne. Okay, Duke of Windsor, Edward. So he abdicated the throne after 1 year of his father's death. Okay, he was supposed to be a king. He met Simpson and he married Simpson after abdicated the throne. Later on, he lived in France till the death. But he was Nazi sympathy. I mean, he was very much biased to the Nazi part of the crisis, and he was very much supporting Hitler to get back the throne that he abdicated once because of the bad treatment that he was put through. Whatever be the reason, he was he abdicated the throne, married Simpson Wallis because of the love, and lived in France. These are the three major events that we need to understand his horoscope. Let's see the horoscope. So the first step is 4th from the Surya is Virgo. Yeah, 4th from the Surya is Virgo. And we have Saturn and Ketu, malefics. And 10th from the Chandra is Scorpio, lorded by Mars and Ketu. And Ketu is conjoined with Saturn. Mars is conjoined with Rahu. This is like high level maleficence. And you see this combination of Sun 4th house. I mentioned that it shows wealth. and Lagna Lord conjoined with Saturn. And this Saturn plus Ketu conjunction is like headlessness for him. And ninth house is house of fortune. And because of Ketu's lordship for Badaka, he was not sure what he was doing when he was doing it. You know, in Parampara, we use sun for Mahadasha, moon for Antardasha, Lagna for Pratyantara, or Karaka for Pratyantara. Okay, in Duke of Windsor horoscope, it's very accurately. It's easy to see. See here, fourth house from Sun, it is Saturn or Ketu. In Saturn Mahadasha, and 10th from Moon is Mars conjoined with Rahu. Because of the conjunction rule, Mars will give results through Ketu. So he abdicated his throne in Saturn Rahu Dasha. So this Saturn Moon template can be used for timing. So that is the takeaway. Okay. The next point is easy, okay to accept the image change. Is image change inevitable for him? Is the time forcing him to change the image? See, Aruda Lagna is in Taurus. Fifth house from it is Virgo. He has Saturn and Ketu. We remember that 10th from Moon, 4th from Sun are associated with Ketu. Ketu is the Graha. So image change is inevitable for him. Now, what led to this event? That is the important event for us Jyotishis. Because we see a situation, but we will not be able to understand how to approach this. So this Karaka will actually tell us the event leading to the things. So Mercury is the Karaka that we spoke about. Sixth house from it has to be seen because of the Karaka Bhava principle. So sixth house from it is Jupiter, 12th house. 12th house shows the dating aspect of our life. The partners that we actually meet in our daily, not the marriage, the partners come through the 12th house. So Simpson has come from the 12th house, and it is connected with Venus in 5th house. See, this Venus wants to give him marriage. Venus is Karaka for marriage. And this is impacting his Aruda Lagna, and it is impacting his 5th house. So basically, to tell you what exactly it is in a nutshell, he left his throne because of his love towards Simpson. So 5th house shows love, and Mercury 6th house is telling us that he will fall in love and he will abdicate the throne. This Aruda will force the image to change. Okay, good. So let me go to the next chart. This is it was there in news in 2018, 2021. She's princess of Princess Mako of Akishino. Mako. In May 2017, it was announced that princess was expected to marry Ki. Dating since 2013 because of her higher education in US. Originally, the marriage was supposed to happen in November 2018. There was some legal issue with her mother, and it has got postponed to 2021. This is the modern age abdication of throne. She's not in the line for the throne, but she's princess. So she left her royalty to marry a normal commoner, to tell you. Okay. This is a chart of the Mako. So I just missed one point. Okay. Whenever the nodes are involved with 4th house from Sun, 10th house from Moon, the nodes will disconnect your connection with your hometown permanently. You'll not be able to retain your status even if you try to get it. This is very important because few people will ask us a question that will I ever go back to my hometown? Okay, especially immigrants. Especially there was a genocide in Kashmir. All of them moved to Canada, somewhere else. Literally, some moved to Pakistan, some moved to America, some moved to London. They will not come back because of their connection with Rahu and Ketu. So there is a beautiful database in astro.com. You can test this principle. It works very fine. Do test it and you'll see the connection. So everybody who has their connection with nodes, they'll be wandering here and there, and they'll never be able to re-establish their connection to the roots. This is very important to know, because especially during Pitru Paksha, because we are losing our connection to the ancestors and the roots. Okay. Okay. So let me bring your attention back to Marco's chart. Yeah. Fourth house from Sun is Capricorn. Capricorn. She has Saturn here. Saturn is an own sign. Own sign in 7th house Digbala. How can it be a malefic? That's one important question that we have to ask. Okay, now it is in 7th house. So will there be a relationship? If there is a relationship, we can be sure that there is going to be something happen. I mean, it will lead to some sort of change. See here, Saturn. Saturn in Parashara Navamsha, this normal Navamsha, the destiny part, fortune part that we see. This Saturn is in Pisces. It is heading towards Aries. Aries is Nicha sign for the Saturn. So Parashara says something very interesting while talking about Dashas. So the Graha being in debilitation is not actually very bad when compared to the Graha that is actually in the behind sign to the Nicha sign. So to tell you, so the Saturn is heading towards Nicha. This is a behind sign to the Nicha sign. We call it Nicha Abhilashi. Abhilashi means desire. So for example, we come across people telling us that I want to leave my job to pursue a business. So to pursue business is the desire, Abhilasha. Okay. Right. So what if the Graha that is inciting that desire to us is heading towards Nicha? So your experience in that aspect of life will be very, very horrible, literally horrible. Okay. Fortunately, you'll see in a moment. Okay. This Saturn is heading towards Nicha, and this Saturn is Nicha Abhilashi in D9. D9 is the chart for marriage. So there is a concept. I mean, this Saturn has potential to activate a relationship that leads her, that puts her in a situation to break her status with royalty and live like a commoner. I'm not saying that commoner is Nicha. When you try to speak relatively with royal family, so that is not right. You know, from royal status to being a commoner, there is like too many levels down. Okay, she has to let go of the wealth, power, authority, respect, everything. That is the whole idea. Okay, so debilitated grahas in varga leads to instability. That is a takeaway. Okay, so the second step is moon 10th house. Moon 10th house is Saturn again. Again, same story. Saturn is in Nicha. Saturn is Nicha Abhilashi in Parashara Drikana. That is the scenario. Now, you know, there is an interesting facet here. Saturn is in own sign. Okay, good. Saturn may not be able to give results on its own. You may come up with that argument. We take the Uchanatha. So what is Uchanatha? Saturn gets exalts in Libra. So Ucha Rashi's Lord is Venus. So Uchanatha means Lord of the Ucha Rashi of this Graha. So Venus. Venus is Nisha Abhilashi in Jataka, in Marco's chart. It is conjoined with Jupiter like Duke of Windsor. This Jupiter being Lord of the 9th house, if she goes to the education, okay, it will lead to a problem. You'll understand in a bit. Okay. Okay. Lagna 12th house has Ketu debilitated direct. And Lord Mercury is conjoined with debilitated Surya. Is it combust? Yes, it is combust. Done. She will leave royalty. And there were stories that she suffered with lot of psychological issues as well while pursuing her legal battle with her mother. See this Rahu aspect? Rahu is trying to force her to face legal issues here. Okay, good. This Rahu dispositor being conjoined with Venus fourth lord indicates mother is the sole reason for it. Okay. What is the next step we follow in the structure? Arudha Lagna, and will she be able to accept that image change? Okay. So Arudha Lagna is in basically Arudha Lagna, there is it is in Libra. Because of these three planets, it is very strong Arudha. Okay. Fifth lord from it is Saturn. If you remember, fourth house from Sun, 10th house from Moon has Saturn. It is very, very direct. Arudha Lagna, fifth house is lorded by Saturn. Very direct. You don't have to even think twice. What led to this situation is the important question to ask. Okay. Mercury is Karaka, sixth house from it is ninth house. So the very moment she decided to study higher education in a foreign land, this Jupiter is higher education lord, conjoined with Venus, who is Badaka, and also Venus shows marriage. This will force her to pursue marriage. See here, if you're able to see here A11, oh, that person will be a friend first, then he'll propose her and it will lead to marriage. That is the scenario you will be able to tell to the client. Okay, good. Okay, anything else that I have to cover? Nothing. So here is an interesting chart for you. You can try for yourself. Prince Harry's chart. I have given every detail here. I'll share the slides later. So try for yourself. Very easy chart. If time permits, I'll come back to this chart again. Okay. Okay. The second part of this dictum, we have been seeing that only Saturn, Mars, and Rahu Ketu are malefics. Is Badaka also a papa? So if I have to try to keep them in order, Saturn, we know that there is a problem. Mars, okay, you'll be tortured, but you are alive. But Badaka will actually try to kill you. That is and you never know when it is going to happen. So here is 1-2 examples that I want to show, such that you can appreciate that Badaka's influence as well. Okay. So see here, this chart of Srinivasa Ramanujan. Before going into this, is there any question that anybody would like to ask? Feel free. You can stop me anytime if you have any question to ask. Okay. Srinivasa Ramanujan's horoscope. So the story of Ramanujan is very simple. He lived only for 32 years. So he started his life. His life is like very humble beginning. He's treated like a very great mathematician in India already, because he was like thinking out of the box. He had this high level intuition from his Kula deity, and he was able to derive proofs for theorems just like that. That surprised the entire world literally, and even now they're coming up with proofs for his theorems. Okay, good. So to give an intro to him, Ramanujan departed from Madras on 17th March 1914. Ramanujan spent only 5 years in Cambridge and published a few findings of his in a small book, and few things later on his brother compiled and sent it to the University of Oxford, I believe. Right. And he then returned in 1919 to Kumbakonam. And in 1920, he passed away. If you ever come to India, Kumbakonam is famous for coffee. This is just a memory, right? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. So this is the chart of Srinivasa Ramanujan. The first step is fourth house from Surya. Right? Fourth house from Surya is Pisces. The Lord is Badaka. Jupiter is the Lord. Is Moon problematic here? If you see Moon is dispositor of Saturn and Rahu, that is not a good sign. Absolutely not a good sign. Okay. But the Lord is conjoined with Mercury, Lagna Lord, indicating that this person has wealth in the form of knowledge. Okay. Fine. Is there some other issue here? Okay, Rahu is aspecting. There is a dictum in Badaka series by my Guruji, Sanjay ji. if Mercury is your Badaka Lord, or Mercury associated with Badaka Lord, it will give issues with your lung or breathing problem. So Ramanujan suffered with tuberculosis. And this Rahu aspect on this Jupiter and Mercury double confirm the event for us. Okay. Then 10th from the moon is Badaka Rashi itself. Sagittarius, Surya is the Lord. Is Surya problematic for this person being third Lord? Yes. For Gemini Lagna, Surya is not very beneficial. And being in Badaka, absolutely not. Okay. And you see there is Mars aspect. There is problem. Okay. And Lagna 12th house is Taurus. Venus is in own sign. I explained the Uchanata concept before. Because of Venus being in own sign, it will not give results on its own. You need another planet to give the result. So Venus gets exalt in Pisces. The lord of this sign is Jupiter or Ketu. So Ketu is heading towards exaltation. It's actually good. But the Jupiter is Badaka conjoined with Mercury. So Lagna Lord conjoined with 6th Lord is like high level Dhimanta Yoga. Very, very high level Dhimanta Yoga. But there is a small problem as well. Lagna Lord and 6th Lord connected will also give problems with health. We know that 6th house is house of Roga. Acute diseases, not chronic, but still. Okay. This Lord, dispositor going to 8th house, will actually create chronic disease for him. Without a doubt. Okay. Will he be able to accept the change of image? His Aruda Lagna is in Aries. 5th house from it is Surya. Surya is in 10th house from the moon. See, 10th house from the moon is the work that you do. He's recognized for his work. So his image is all about Surya. High level D. You know, in his name, if you see, Srinivasa is okay. Ramanujan, nobody called him Srinivasa. Everybody calls him Ramanujan. Rama, we all know, Surya is the deity. Okay. Okay. What led to this event? Let's see. Mercury 6th house is Aries, his Aruda. Okay. Aruda, his work. Basically, Aruda is what you are contributing to the society and what people are perceiving about you. If you are not doing anything, there is no Aruda for you. Simple. There is no Aruda for a sannyasi. There is no Aruda for a person who is liberated. Ketu in Aruda Lagna, you don't have any Aruda. Okay? Okay, good. So he has Aruda Lagna there. So Mercury 6th house is Aruda. He wants to show his Aruda he wants to show his work to the people. See here, Mars is in Parivartana with Mercury. So his learnings, 4th house of learning, is pushing him to do something with his D. Publishing, 6th house. Kind of, he himself pushed himself to Roga. So if Srinivas Ramanujan comes to us, if he says that I'm struggling with some problem, you'll straight away understand this. Okay, there is tuberculosis, there is breathing problem because of the Mercury. This Mars Parivartana with Mercury, 4th house shows Kara aspect of him, happiness, comfort. So because of the lack of comfort, because of the old war situation, then when he moved to London, he struggled a lot. Because of the ill health, he passed away in 1920. Okay, good. This is also one example chart that I wanted to show. You can try for yourself. This is Badaka example. Okay, good. Okay, now we all know, we all want remedy. So remedy is the core. So the principle was derived from Arista adhyaya. So Parashara was kind and he gave us Arista Banga. So the Arista Banga concept is basically based on Mercury, Venus, Jupiter being in Kendras. And there is one more principle. I'm not going to touch on it. I'll surely share a write-up on it in the group later. So for now, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter will try to help us at some point of time. Let's see. Famous, one of the famous chart and one of the important charts in the history of Britain. Prince Philip. Okay. Om Shanti to Queen Elizabeth. Okay, good. So Prince Philip is was husband of uh, Queen Elizabeth too. Before getting into that marriage aspect of it, let's get into his story. So he was born in 1921. So Prince Philip's father took him to, let's see. Okay. Okay. Took him to, because of the some coup defeat, Prince Philip's father took him to Greece. From Greece to Paris. So from Greece to Paris. From Paris, Prince Philip went on to live with Mountbatten relatives in England. From Paris to England. And he studied in a school in Surrey. Okay, good. It is, I think it is very nearby, maybe far, at least. Okay, from England to Surrey. Prince Philip is sent to Germany later for under education pioneer Kurt. So from England to Germany. From there, from Germany to Scotland. This is too much of movement for a person to start with. Then after that, World War II has come. He moved to Dartmouth School, Naval School, where he met Queen Elizabeth II. Then later on, he asked permission to take the hand of Queen Elizabeth. Later on, he married her, moved to Malta. Then we know they later on lived in Buckingham Palace after her Queen Elizabeth's father's death. Okay, the simple story is he moved so much before marriage. There was like from Greece to Paris, Paris to England, England to Scotland, Scotland to Germany, Germany to Scotland. So there is so much of movement. Okay, so right. Okay, let's see the chart of Prince Philip. So the simple chart. So fourth house from Sun is Leo. Leo. We have Saturn and Jupiter. All these examples we have seen a single manifest. Here we have Jupiter. Jupiter being benefit and Jupiter being his ninth lord. You know, when he was studying in Royal Academy during World War, he met Queen Elizabeth. Then the real stability has come when he actually had children. Jupiter is Karaka for children. Okay. Okay. So 10th from Moon, he has Ketu conjoined with Venus. See, there is a lot of movement in his life. Ketu, a lot of uncertainty basically. Venus is Karaka for a marriage. So his destiny is going to change because of the Venus. Okay. So then 12th house from Lagna is Gemini. We have Mars, Mercury. So that Mercury is Karaka for career. Okay, work, situation. He was working in that Naval Academy, trying to teach, doing something when he met Queen Elizabeth II. So, but that Mars being Nicha Abhilashi, that Saturn, that Ketu, all these planets will try to induce so much of change in his life. It is not easy. Okay. While trying to teach, while trying to explain Krishna's horoscope, I have mentioned a bit. I mentioned the same situation. Okay. Now, is he ready to accept this image? See here, Aruda Lagna is in Aries. Yes, it is strong Aruda. Fifth house from Aries is Leo. The Saturn, the common graha that we have got is Saturn. So that is second house. Children, right? He was bestowed with title Royal Highness. You know, that is because of the ninth house. Ninth house gives the titles for you. You know, we say a doctorate, PhD. Those are titles that we get because of the higher education. That is status in the education. In life also, because of the ninth house, you'll get fortunate. You'll become like millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, like that. So that is the whole concept. But what led to this situation? That is the important. See, the Mercury, the Mercury is in 12th house. 6th house from it is Scorpio. 5th house of love. Prince Philip has fallen in love with Queen Elizabeth. And this Mars is in 12th house, conjoined with Mercury. They spoke. Mercury shows communication. They dated for some time. And this Mars is getting Nichabanga because of the moon. And conjunction with Mercury, this status will automatically rise. Mars is giving results of the Mercury. Okay. And we know the story of how they met. If you're not sure, do watch Crown series. Good. But there is one important thing I wanted to say here. This Venus being benefic, marriage changed his life. Jupiter being benefic, children changed his life. This Mercury being benefic, his career also changed his life. Especially after the birth of Charles and also Anne, Prince Charles was made as Duke of Edinburgh, I think. So there is a sequence of events that led to the rise of his status in the royal family to equal Prince Charles then. Okay. Why it has happened? Because of that. What is the reason? See, Mercury, 5th house lord is Mars. Mars is Yoga Karaka in this Jataka. That was the reason. Yoga Karaka is a kingmaker, literally kingmaker. I'll show you Sri Krishna Jataka as well in a moment. Okay. We have seen malefics placed in 4th house from Sun, 10th house from Moon, 12th house from Lagna, having an issue. Is there, will the effect will be the same with malefic drishtis? That is the question. If that is the question, we need an example. So we have Ramachandra's horoscope. Rama was about to get the throne. He's about to make, so his father announced to everybody that tomorrow morning, Rama will be made the king. But the next day, he was asked to leave to the forest. And later on, Sita was abducted by Ravana, and Rama has to travel all the way from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka. It is like one end of India to the other end. It's like lot of travel. Okay, lot of desha atana. Okay, and then the war happened. He came back to Ayodhya, and the Pattabhisheka happened. This is the story of Sri Ramachandra in nutshell. If you are not sure of this story, I do recommend reading Sri Ramachandra's story, because the remedy for this Arista is Ramachandra and Sri Krishna. If you take the name Hare Ramakrishna, your life will become extremely stable. Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna. This is the basic remedy for this situation. If you are not sure about what is happening with your chart, just go ahead and start doing Hare Ramakrishna. All due grace of Achyutananda for giving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Parampara. Okay, this is a chart of Sri Ramachandra. So 4th house from Sun, very, very interesting situation for Sri Ramachandra. 4th house from Sun, we have Jupiter and Moon. It is exalted Jupiter, own sign Moon. What is the problem here? This Saturn is aspecting this. Mars is aspecting this sign. Okay, two or more malefics is a curse. Straight. Good. But is there something else that we should be able to see here? Okay. So in Parampara, we use Mula Dasha to understand curses. So these Mars and Saturn are like aspecting this sign. So it is like curse. Okay. Rama was running through Saturn Mula Dasha when he was forced to go to forest. So this Saturn was supposed to be in retrogression. I did not keep retrogression because there is no option to do so. Do correct your notes as Saturn retrograde. Okay. The next is 10th from the Moon. We have exalted Surya. That is like impossible for us to predict that Rama will go to forests, leaving his throne. But see here, Mars 4th aspect, Rahu's fifth aspect. This is like Naga Bandhana. He'll be, so basically Sun fourth house has initiated an event, but Moon is like sustaining the event. How it sustained the event? Sustain the event by putting the wife, in a situation of death. That's the event. Okay. Lagna 12th house, Ketu Nicha, that is bad. That is obviously bad. If we get into the details actually here, the Lagna 12th house actually shows the root reason for your experience. All this story is happened because of the curse of the Narada Muni. 12th house shows the Rishi. So Ketu is the Narada. Okay. This Narada Muni gave the curse for Vishnu Avatara, and that Vishnu Avatara led to the situation. Okay. So what is the next? So is Rama able to accept his image? See, Aruda Lagna, Aries, or Libra, whichever is strong. I can take any either way. So 5th house from it is Surya. We have got Surya. 10th house from Surya is 10th house from Moon is Surya. So he is called as Pitru Vakya Paripalaka. And he is also called Uttama Purusha. He has so many names associated with Surya. That is why I have taken. So he is called as Maharajaya. So that is all Surya basically. So what led to this situation is the important thing. Mercury is in 11th house. 6th house from it is 4th house. So this situation happened because his father gave a promise to his mother. And stepmother, Saturn, a stepmother asked the Dasharatha to send Rama to forest. So basically, mother activated it. But Saturn is here. So Saturn is 7th lord. So, Rama got married. The very instant Rama got married, the flow of events are very easy to predict. Rama got married, and the stepmother has asked the boon from Dasharatha, and Dasharatha asked Rama to, not Dasharatha literally, but it is an oath of the Dasharatha. So Rama left on his own will to the forest. This is the sequence of the events. Okay, I'm done. You can ask me questions. Let me do Shanti Mantra before this, such that we can end this with peace. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti. Yeah. Okay, good. Feel free to ask any questions if you have anything. Okay, Sonalji is there? No.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm there very much. Very,
Okay.
very nice. Super, fantastic. We've got some real core concepts going on here.
Yes,
Fabulous.
Yes. Year one students of Parampara will really appreciate this if they actually get him.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cheat sheet, really, isn't it? Like a little, snippet. It's fantastic,
Yes.
though. I am
Yeah.
going to, say
Uh,
that it really
Okay.
works, this principle.
Yes.
It definitely works for my chart for sure. But I'm
Yes.
sure you
Yes.
tested it in many, many other charts.
Yeah. I indeed tested it in 1,000+ horoscopes. I will show this database astro.com link. I'll share it in Telegram group.
Yes, please.
So you can pick any random chart in that database. It will work directly.
Superb. So it's because mine is what I'm speaking a little bit later on the Jupiter's placement from the moon is similar, because I'm just considering Jupiter, which is a benefic. But often the question arises that, when we have malefics, it's like as well as a benefic from 10th from the moon, it gives you a little bit of a mixed bag, really, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Because there is, with a malefic 10th from the moon, it gives you what your biggest purpose is, and your your work is what you'll be known for. And so if there is a malefic there, almost always there is a fall from grace, so to speak.
Exactly.
So anyone has any questions? I think Rosemary, I saw Rosemary typing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Yeah, very nice, very clear. Just thought.
No,
I
no,
had
I have picked royal charts intentionally because if royals are forced to leave their royalty, then commoners will obviously force it. Especially if you have in your circle charts of immigrants, especially Ukrainians, Russians. Do test this and do help them.
Also,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, there are no other questions, but
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, yes, go on, Dari.
Hi, thank you so much for this. I just want to ask, 10th
Okay.
from moon, if you have exalted malefic, for example, Ketu in
Yeah.
Sagittarius, does that mean fall from grace, or rather Ketu being the?
Can you repeat? Where is the moon? Sorry, where is the
If
moon?
we have an exalted malefic
Okay.
from
Okay.
moon, for example, Ketu in Sagittarius,
Okay.
does this Ketu will bring fall, some kind of misfortune, rather fortune?
Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to
Yes.
see me? Yeah. See here, Prince Harry's horoscope. Are you? Can you follow the South Indian?
I'm following the north one.
Okay, cool. See here, North Indian. From moon, 10th lord is Saturn, right? Saturn is exalted for Prince Harry. So it is exalted. It is like exalted malefic. But his inevitable choice of leaving royal duties happened because of his marriage, right? He was fine till the marriage. He was doing his duties properly. He was actually respected, you know. He did 10 years of service and all. But the very moment marriage got activated, the Saturn is heading towards Nicha. Are you able to see here Parashara Navamsha? Saturn is heading towards Mesha. So here see Rahu. There is a lot of influence of spouse. Rahu, insecurity is coming in, and basically it is 7th house. You know what spouse is doing to his head. Okay, and Saturn is heading towards Mesha. It is like spouse is pushing him towards stability. So they moved to America and they left their royal duties. It is like that. You have to pick the right Virga in a situation like that. Yeah, it is exalted in my Rashi chart. It is malefic. It is good. Yes, it is good. But if it is debilitated in D12, let's say, the very moment father passes or mother passes, the entire fortune will be collapsed. We see so many horoscopes like that. Okay.
Yes. And if
Did it answer this question? Your question?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
understand now. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if we have malefic and benefic 10th from moon, does that mean it's better for a person to go abroad, or it's a mixture?
It's good idea to activate things like Prince Philip. This is the example for that. You know, Prince Philip has malefic conjoined with benefic, if you see, right? So malefic conjoined with benefic, Saturn conjoined with Jupiter, Venus conjoined with Ketu, you know. So it is good idea to pick the benefic and try to exactly do the mantras associated with the number. To simply give you the gist, it is good idea to start doing Hare Rama Krishna if you have this problem. Simple remedy.
I meant like, will the association of malefic with benefic, will that malefic push the person abroad?
Absolutely. For a period of time. Yes.
Okay.
So for a few people will come to you and say, I want to leave my father business and want to go abroad because my father is not respecting me. If you come across a situation like this. So it is like benefic was providing him already, but because of his own malefic influence on him, he wanted to pursue something elsewhere. You know, that thought may not be right. You know, so during that Pratyantara Dasha, maybe he thinks like that. So it is our responsibility to put him in the right path again. Hope you understood.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. Very
nice
good.
questions. Nice questions.
I had a question.
Yeah, please, Gary, I think, right?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, namaste.
So the 4th from the moon.
No, 4th from the sun.
Oh, sorry, 4th from the sun. Let's see.
You can use your horoscope. It is very applicable. It is very applicable in your horoscope.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So like my son is in the 10th and the 4th. This is 10, 11, 12, 1. Is the ascendant is ruled by Jupiter. and the
Your
ninth.
ascendant, your Sagittarius ascendant, I think.
Yeah,
You
and
have
it's really
Jupiter
good.
in ninth house, I believe.
But
Uh,
Mars opposes it. But Mars is a Ruda Lagna,
Okay.
So I
Okay.
don't know.
Can I open your chart? So you have your chart to put up for discussion. Can
I
you
don't.
put up your
Well,
chart?
one sec,
Okay.
Mohanji,
Mhm.
is
Time
that,
is up.
who is that? Is it Gary?
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah. Gary, do you mind if we do this like towards the end of today? Is that okay?
No, that's fine.
Okay. And I would encourage you
Mhm.
simultaneously to put up chart also on the Telegram group of Brihaspati. Your chart, if you can share, please, because we soon there will be another speaker and myself speaking.
Oh,
So
I got you.
and also another thing I want to say is, Mohanji,
Uh-huh.
would you have time to stay till after
Mhm.
Kai? Because I just want to do a few minutes
So
with,
if you can like I'll try to be around. I'll
yeah,
try to be around.
yeah, if you can, only because since we are discussing charts of royalty and everything,
Will Amavasya come by then? Let me check once. Okay. Yeah. Good. I'm
yeah,
okay. Yeah, it's
because
okay.
today is a big thing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
Amavasya. It's, yeah.
This basic presentation is all about losing ancestors, and I am very glad that you gave me the right slot, such that all the listeners will try to understand that lack of ancestors' blessings is pushing us to abroad. So it is kind of like a remedy for all of us to. We are actually remembering our ancestors today in a way
Yeah, because
during
today
Pitru
is the
Paksha.
last day of the
Yeah, last before day. Tomorrow is
the last,
Mahalaya Amavasya.
yeah, the Mahalay. Okay,
Amavasya.
so I just wanted to discuss a few charts of royalty, especially Prince Charles or the King
Oh,
Charles,
okay.
which will be interest to a lot of people here. So this
Mhm.
will be like using some of the principles we've like put forward, and also the